Hello again everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is a channel update, not a build video, nor am I doing the drawing for the contest for the Red Hood Outlaw mask in this video. So if those are the reasons that you clicked on this, sorry. So the Red Hood will be of course announced, as I said in the previous video, in a build video, which will most likely be a new take on Carnage at the end of this month, which is December 2019. It'll probably be a few days before or a few days after Christmas. So, I'm going to talk about upcoming projects and some things I'm going to be doing in the upcoming year and just in the next few weeks as well. And I'm also going to talk about the whole coppa shenanigans that are going on. And that's pretty boring, so I'm going to save that till the end. Do the more fun stuff first. If you're really interested in that, though, feel free to stick around till the end of the video. So, as I've already mentioned, I'm going to be doing a new Carnage. It's going to be something that I want to reflect a little bit more in the Venomverse. The other Carnage that I did was much more like a 90s cartoon. And it was fun, and I got to, you know, do something that I never thought I would have been able to do, that I wanted to do since my childhood, which is have a Carnage costume. And that'll be most likely the video that I announce the Red Hood drawing in. And I've also recently done, and I've got a lot of inquiries about this, I've recently made a xenomorph mask. However, this is child-sized. It's for my youngest daughter. So I don't have patterns for this because I built the entire thing freehand. However, I'm going to actually make patterns for an adult-sized one. However, it does present a lot of problems, such as there's no eye holes. So on her, she'll be looking out through here, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's one of the issues right off the start. There's no way to really see out this. You could do different things with it, sure. But you're just not going to have this smooth, sleek surface like this if you do anything else. And I am also currently working on a Mandalorian cosplay. However, the patterns for this I downloaded from Punish Props, as they did for their, I think, 500,000 subscriber giveaway. And I didn't alter them much, although I did alter them a bit. But I'm not doing a build video on this because they already did one. So yeah. If you want to check in on the progress on my Mandalorian cosplay, which, by the way, I am not doing the Mandalorian from the TV show, nor am I doing Boba Fett. I'm going to do my own custom one, something most likely heavy gunner based. But if you want to follow the progress on that, you can always check in on Instagram, where I will put stuff in the stories, and I will also, you know, as it gets more completed, post photos as well if you want to check that out. Okay, so that's the current stuff I'm working on now. As far as doing a full xenomorph cosplay in the new year, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, just based on the money factor. Do I think I could? Sure. Will it look good? We'll see. But that's something I hope to do in the new year, but can't guarantee, because that's going to be a bit expensive, probably more than either the Punisher, or not Punisher, but the Predator, or my Carnage cosplay cost to make. But I really do want to attempt it. I am, however, going to make a child-sized one first for my youngest daughter to go along with the xenomorph mask. So I will, of course, as I get things done, post photos of that to Instagram. So let's get on to the more boring stuff, which is the whole coppa thing. So there's a lot of misinformation surrounding it, and one of them is that Google or YouTube, and I believed this too initially, because that's what I kept hearing, was fined by the FCC for I think 176 million. It actually wasn't a fine. They just settled with them and the state of New York. So the state of New York got money and the FCC got money. But I'm pretty sure they started all this nonsense back in like 2012 or 2013. And it's not really nonsense. Like, it makes sense because they're gathering YouTube and Google are gathering information on children to target them through advertising. And legally, you're not allowed to do that. It's not actually, because I looked into this, and I'm not a lawyer, I don't know everything, but I looked into this, and The law actually isn't an FCC law, it's an FTC law, and it's meant for broadcasting. But the FCC is using this to go after YouTube and Google. Now, it's funny because the first time I heard about it, prior to seeing anything on YouTube or any of that stuff, or YouTube itself sending me emails and then notifications on my channel that here's just some things that changing, watch this video, yada yada yada, I was hearing from people on the street that I know, just regular people who do not YouTube, that the government was going after Google and YouTube because children are watching inappropriate videos and they're going to put a stop to it so the parents can feel safe. So I was like, okay. When in reality, what it actually is the whole advertising thing. And I don't think it's actually going to stop kids from watching inappropriate videos. I don't even understand how that got brought into the discussion, but that's what the general public around me was saying. I don't know where they get this idea from. That's actually not what is going on. So that was when I first heard it, and then when I saw the reality of it, I thought, what the heck? So basically what it's saying is, if you haven't already heard this a dozen times from other YouTube channels that you watch, is that if anybody defined as a child, which is 12 years and under, cannot be targeted like that and cannot have that kind of stuff done. So YouTube and Google are doing that. And essentially what they did was more or less paid off through the settlement the FCC and the state of New York to go away. And they, at least for the time being, have. However, YouTube is setting up new bots that are going to go through and flag videos that are designed to be child-friendly. Now, take for example my channel. I consider to be general family-friendly. And what that means is it's in a broad sense. I'm not speaking specifically to children that are 6 years old or 12 years old. I'm just talking the same way I would talk to any other adult. And that was one of the specifications, that any sort of animation or cartoons, any sort of songs or sing-along type of thing geared towards children 12 and under, content in general that's just geared towards children 12 and under. Specific language defined as a difference between adult language and language for children, which, as you notice, they kind of speak differently on Sesame Street versus 2020. That doesn't mean that swearing and all this stuff on your channel, and I've seen a lot of creators doing that, swearing and doing all this other stuff to show that their stuff's not for kids. But the thing is, my channel is really, really small, okay? Right now, the FCC is looking for somebody to make an example of. I don't think they'll pick my channel, and even if they did, I'm gonna try to cut this into the video here. But my numbers for viewers, I think it's 75 or 80% are between 18 years old and 35. That's the majority of them. And so I don't specifically fall into that. So I've already listed mine as not intended specifically for children. However, I'm not going to restrict it to 18 plus. That's insane. But a channel as small as mine, they're not, if they find me, they're kind of not going to get anything. The fine per infraction per video is like $43,460 or something ridiculous. I make that in several years after taxes. On mediocre years. On better years, a little more. On not good years, less. But I don't make that kind of money. The other things they could do is seize your assets. I don't own anything except for my car and this phone, which I make payments on. I don't think that counts. And my car is a beater. I don't own the house that I live in. We actually rent this place. I don't plan on living here forever, and I don't just mean in this house, but in the area of the world that I live in forever. So there's no point in me buying now. I don't know if they can imprison people if they can't pay, so I suppose they could do that. I don't know. But the issue is, once you're accused of it, you have to prove that you're not, which means you have to get a lawyer and go against the government to say, hey, I didn't actually do this. The other thing that'll happen is YouTube will delete your channel. Now, it's interesting because in all this stuff, YouTube just slipped in this sentence that says if your channel is not profitable, it can also be subject to deletion. So my channel, for example, doesn't really make any money. I cannot live off this. I can't even come close to living off this. In fact, the amount of money I make in a month doesn't even buy groceries for a few days. So if I lose the monetization, I don't care. I'm still going to make videos, okay? None of that's going to change. And if my channel would get deleted, there's always other platforms to upload my stuff to. Or when I get enough money to purchase a domain name, just create a website and upload all my videos there so you can watch them. Or I could upload them to Facebook, most likely Facebook Watch, and you could check it out that way. But hopefully nothing will happen to me. The problem is that these bots aren't always reliable. For example, in the past, I have had a lot of my videos flagged whenever they put these new types of things into service. And these things that are being flagged, I never understood why. But then as they refine the bots, and they release videos to the creators, and I suppose to the public as well if you want to look them up on YouTube, explaining how these things are going, and they really appreciate your feedback, and so on and so forth. So when they first initially set these bots up, I got flagged on a bunch of videos. Once again, wasn't upset. I didn't dispute the claims because I don't make enough money off it to care. So I just let it go. As long as people can watch the videos, I'm happy. So I didn't ever care. But a few months later, as they update the stuff, and I go back, and I'm like, well, they said they updated this, and they fixed a lot of the bugs, and they worked a lot of things out, and they listened to the feedback of people, more than likely the people with a lot of subscribers is who they're listening to. But they listened to the feedback, and then they improved it. So I went back and looked at all my videos, and sure enough, all the ones that were flagged as unsuitable were magically completely suitable again. So those were all false flags, essentially. They were all falsely... The bots didn't know exactly what they were doing. So this could be a problem for a lot of people. And a lot of people aren't taking it seriously, I feel like, to an extent, on the creator side. But if you watch the member of the FCC that basically stated that it would be like shooting fish in a barrel, his words, and he also went on to elaborate that YouTube is the barrel, the content creators are the fish. Anyways, that's kind of crazy rhetoric, but it does drive the point home that they're on the hunt to find people and make money. That's what they do. That's what, you get pulled over for speeding, you get a ticket, it makes the government money. And I talk about the difference in the beginning between a fine and a settlement. So, in my mind, the only real difference between that is when you get a fine for something, you've been found completely in the wrong. When you settle out of court, somebody's been harassing you long enough that you're going to come to an agreement on an amount of money, so they just go away, which is kind of shifty because it's like paying somebody off. And once there's blood in the water, New York's already got money. Who knows how many other states may come for this. So YouTube's ultimate conclusion for this was blame the content creators, even though we're not the ones that, at least I personally didn't do anything. But they're basically putting it all on us. If we don't mark our channels correctly, if they're bots or the FCC's bots, because the FCC has a whole supposed thing in place right now to start going after people. But I feel like they want to make examples of people, content creators that is. And specifically, those types of are probably not me because I don't have money. You'd think they'd want to go after somebody they could get that money from, that has those type of assets that they could either seize or take the money from. And like I say, I don't have it. So, yeah, let's hope they don't do that. But yeah, my backup plan is I will upload it to Vimeo if that still exists. I haven't used that platform in forever, so I don't even know. But there's always some other way for me to upload videos. It's not like they're going to take down my Etsy shop, my Facebook, or my Instagram. Like I say, if there is a way to upload them to Facebook, I don't have every video that I've ever made saved on my hard drive, because a lot of stuff in the very early days, like a couple years ago, when I was first started to do build videos and even like motion comics and stuff prior to that, I was using YouTube's video editor to put all that together. At one point they took that away, and I was upset, but it was actually a blessing because the video editing program that I purchased is much better. Much, much, much better. And I'm still, as I use it, learning more and more because I didn't go to college for this. I haven't been instructed by anybody that uses video editing software, so I only know so much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going anywhere. The videos are going to stay the same. If I do feel at some point that I'm going to be targeted by these people, I will just turn off the partnership program and I will turn off the money. And I just won't get the money from the monetization. But like I say, It's not enough. And if you're wondering, if you look at my subscriber count, I'm still under like 5,000 subscribers. If you're curious as to how many you have to generate revenue, what I've been told, and I don't know personally, is 50,000 and above. You start making close to $1,000 a month, a little under. That also depends on how many shares, how many comments, likes or dislikes, because reactions in general generate more cash. Excuse me. So that's something, if you were curious about, that's what I've been told. Like I say, personally, I don't know. But I don't make it. So kind of doesn't matter. But yeah, channel's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere unless, of course, YouTube deletes it. I won't do that. Even if, for some reason, I am unable to continue doing build videos or even making build projects, I will just leave the videos up so that you can enjoy them in the future, or that new people can enjoy them in the future. Yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I know this was kind of boring, but as always, I hope that you all have a great day.